Today you're going to be creating a budget in Microsoft Excel using the information that you put together when you did the reality check project. The first thing that you want to do, as I mentioned before, is to go ahead and open your reality check document. It should look something like this. This is the information you're going to need for this project. So if you need to stop the video or pause it, and you can do that at any point along the way or replay it, go ahead and do that now and get this document open so that you can input this in there. What you're going to be doing first of all is you're going to open a new document in Microsoft Excel. Your screen will look a little bit different than mine does because I'm working from home and I'm in Windows 7, so things will look a little bit different for you. What you want to do is go down to your Start menu. You're going to go ahead and find where it says Microsoft Office, and then you have a drop-down menu under that. You'll see Excel. Go ahead and click on that to open the program. And your Excel program will look like this. Excel works using mathematics and creating formulas to allow you to change different things. It's called a spreadsheet or a worksheet program, and it allows you to do math and a variety of other things. What we're going to do today is a very simple project to include a few formulas into your budget using the numbers that you already have. So the first thing you want to do is take a look at how this is laid out. This is laid out in rows, those will go across, and columns, which go up and down. Your rows are numbered. Your columns have letters. The combination of the two creates a cell. Right now we're in cell A1. As you can see, it tells us right up here where we are. If you move your cursor and just click on another spot in here, you're going to see that this changes, and now it tells you you're in cell D3. Sometimes that's important to know if you're putting in formulas or trying to find things as you go along. One of the things that you want to get in the habit of when you're doing this is to go ahead and enter information in every row and every column. You can go back later and make it look pretty by adding spacing and so forth, but you don't want to leave blank columns or blank rows because it can create problems with your formulas later on. So what let's do now is go ahead and click on cell A1, and we're going to go ahead and type in the information from this. So we're going to start by typing in cell A1 your monthly expenses. And then you can use your arrow keys to move down, and you're going to go ahead and type in all of the words that are down this column in column A. All of the numbers that are over here, you're going to go ahead and type in column B. You don't need to type the dollar sign, you don't need to type the zeros, you don't need to type the commas. So over here, for example, in column B, on this first one, you would just type 827. So go ahead and pause the video now and do that, and then we'll come back and continue on. Okay, your document should look like this now. You've got all of your information in. You've typed in everything in the columns in A and B. There should be no blank columns in between there. If there are, stop it and fix that. And we're going to go forward now. First thing you're going to notice in column A is that it looks like some of the information you have here is hidden or cut off. It's only hidden. It's not a big deal. We're going to fix that first. So if you roll up here to where you've got your letters, if you go right to the line, you'll notice how your cursor changes into a little cross. Grab your line by clicking on the left mouse button and just pull it across until it's wide enough for whatever information you've got there. And that fixes that part. Now column B, we want to have the dollar signs and so forth that we have in the Word document that we did from Reality Check. So the way to get that is to go ahead and click on the first number that you want to make that change to with your left mouse button. Hold your left mouse button down, drag all the way down through the numbers. Go ahead and right click on it now and go down here to Format Cells. Click on Format Cells and choose Currency. This shows you what it's going to look like if you choose it the way they have it, and this is what you want. You want the dollar sign, the decimal point, and 2 zeros afterwards. So just go ahead and click OK. And that's going to change all of your numbers to look more like you're used to looking at them for money. The next thing that we want to do on this is to go ahead and add in formulas. Formulas, as you may remember, are what makes Excel something special that lets us do things and make changes to this without continually having to recalculate or re-add things up. So the first number that we have here that has a formula or should have a formula to it is monthly expenses. If you click over here on the 4802 or whatever your number is, you're going to notice that that shows up here in the formula bar. What I want to do is take that out of the formula bar just by highlighting it, click and drag, press your delete key, and instead I'm going to go ahead and put in the formula that I want. Monthly expenses is adding up all of these numbers. So what I want to do is put in the formula equals sum, S-U-M, and an open parentheses. And then I'm going to go ahead and highlight all the numbers that I want to be added together. So I'm going to start by left clicking on the first number, dragging all the way down through the last number, lifting up on my mouse, closing the parentheses with Shift 0, and pressing enter to put the formula in there. So that goes ahead and it gives me the same number that I had, the 4802, but now if you notice, when you look up here in the formula bar, it's a formula that's there. Now you may say, why does this matter? It matters if you're doing a budget and you say, you know what, that $250 for food is not going to be enough. I really want to be eating out more than that. So what I want to do is budget $400 a month for food. So if I go back and change that, notice when I press the enter key now, what it's going to do to that 4802, it's going to change it. And if I say, no, you know what, that's going to be too much, I'm not making enough money to do that, I need to change it back to the 250 and just live with that. You can go back and change it to the 250 and notice that your number again changes back. So this saves you having to go back through and recalculate things. You can very quickly see if things are going to work for you or not. The next line that we want to put a formula in is annual expenses. Annual expenses are your monthly expenses times 12 months in the year. So again, you want to go ahead and click on that, go up to your formula bar, take that number out, and put in a formula. The way to get this one is you're going to add your monthly expenses, so type in a plus, then click on your monthly expense number. This is much better than typing it in because that way if you change things you don't have to worry about it. So click on that, it's building your formula up here. We're going to take that times, which is an asterisk, your Shift 8, 12 for 12 months in the year. Again, press your enter key and that goes ahead and puts it in. Again, same number, but now you have a formula in there so that when you change things you're going to see that change. Our next number that has a formula or should have a formula in it is taxes. Taxes are 25% of your annual expenses. The annual expense line is right here. So again, we're going to go up here, delete out that number. We're going to type in plus your annual expenses, click on that number, times Shift 8, 0.25 for 25%. Press enter to put your number in. And again, notice the number is the same, but now we have a formula. Finally, the annual salary needed is also a formula. That's your annual expenses plus your taxes. It's these two numbers added together. Go back up here to your formula bar, delete that out. This time you're going to type in plus your first number that you want to add, which is your annual expenses. Then you're going to add plus again to add your second number, which is your taxes. Click on that one. It builds your formula, press enter to put it into the cell. So now you can see that we have a formula in these last four cells. Now if I go back and make that change to food, watch what happens to those last four numbers. I'm going to change it back to the 400. Notice how all four of those numbers change. If I go back and change it back to the 250, all four of those numbers change. That takes care of putting in our formulas. Now we want to make this look a little prettier. So let's go up here to where it says your monthly expenses, and let's go ahead and make that bold. If you're not already on the home menu, get there, that's the first one up here, and just click on the B right here for bold, and that changes that to bold. Next we're going to go ahead and put in a blank line to make this a little bit more readable. We want the blank line under your monthly expenses, so we want it right here. Click where you want the blank line, right click, choose insert, and you want to insert an entire row. Remember, rows go across. Click on entire row, click OK, and it puts in your blank line. We also want to put in a blank line underneath savings. So let's go ahead and click on monthly expenses because it's going to put it in right where we've got this. Right click on that and do the same thing. You're going to choose insert, entire row, click OK. And that makes it a little bit more readable. Now you may want to do some other things to this. You can put color in the cells and so forth. But this is what I'm looking for as far as the assignment goes. If you want to play with it a little bit more and make it prettier, you can change the font and so forth. Play with that on your own if you want to. Otherwise, you're ready to go ahead and save this. To do that, you're going to go to your Save As. And we're going to go ahead and save this the way we always should with our last name, first name, and we're going to call this budget, and then go ahead and save that under your number. And then you can go ahead and submit that to me as an attachment in Edmodo on the assignment. If you need to replay the video at any point in time, you can play this as many times as you need to be able to get this.